Ralph Havens here. Welcome to your Facebook Live or your YouTube or however you're getting this. It's on a podcast. It'll be on a podcast. It'll be on YouTube on my Beyond Limits session, station, and also on Facebook Live. So we're about to go live right now on Facebook, and then we'll be starting. And today's session is all about why sometimes things work, people get well or recover from things. Let's see, why sometimes sometimes self-help stuff works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so this in here. Okay, so why is it that sometimes self-help stuff works? Self-help books, self-help classes, there's all sorts of seminars out there, there's week-long seminars, there's all sorts of books, and lots of people saying things like, you can think a certain way and stuff changes, or you can if you just believe differently, you can have a different life. And sorry about, it's very, very sunny right now here in Bellingham. And I'm outside having lunch at the co-op. So anyway, why is that? And I was just thinking about it. My friend yesterday, she had just gotten back from a long trip, and she told us, she was talking about a documentary that she saw. And it was a guy that was not a guru kind of guy, not a self-help kind of guy, but he pretended to be one. And so then he went on and did this whole documentary, and he had quite a following, and he kept saying, "I'm not your guru, I'm not your guru." And I haven't seen the documentary. I'm going to look for it. But my friend was saying that all these people had these miraculous healings, and all sorts of chronic conditions went away, and people lost 60 pounds or more, and all sorts of things. And he was making up yoga moves that weren't real yoga moves. He didn't do yoga, but he made them up. And he dressed like an Indian, he was from India, and he spoke with an Indian accent. And he kept saying, "I am not your guru," and I don't know what else he said, but people got well. And there's a movie with Tony Robbins, the biggest self-help kind of guy, and he's got a book, a movie that a documentary guy made of him called "I Am Not Your Guru," and it's quite amazing. I've seen it maybe 5 times. It's so powerful, and some of the healings in there were just incredible. And this one woman, if you watch it, she told a story of terrible childhood abuse, and so bad that I don't think Tony knew what to do. And he finally told her that, told her some stuff, and it was really powerful, and she had a big change. And he told her she could have all of his training, every bit of his training. He was going to just give it to her. And then later in the show, we saw her, and she was completely different. She hadn't started the training except being in this class, but she was already different. You could just see the demeanor in her. She was like confident, and there was a stillness to her, and she was already transformed. It'd be cool to see how she's doing now. And so then there's also the idea of placebo, right? Like there's placebos that the drugs, the drug companies do things where they are supposed to test things versus a placebo, like a sugar pill. And so, hey Carl, so and the reason they do that is, of course, people can take a placebo, but if they think it's the drug or the remedy, there's 30% of them or so, something like that they'll get well anyway, even though they didn't take the actual treatment. So that's a pretty high bar, right, for drugs to have to overcome, is to say that they're better than a placebo effect, because they got to be at least 30%, improvement. And so today's thoughts are, how do you get that kind of belief that something worked or will work? You know, some people get well and it wasn't even a real thing. And there's even Jesus. You know, there was that story of the woman that Jesus was in a very crowded marketplace with all his disciples, and then he stopped and he said, "Wait a minute, who just touched me?" And all of his disciples are like, "Dude, you know, everybody's touching you." And he goes, "No, somebody touched me," because he felt a download of some type of energetic shift. And then this woman confessed, and she goes, "Oh yeah, it was me. I've been so sick with this and this and this, all these conditions, terrible conditions. But I knew if I just touched your robe, I would be well, I'd be healed." And he said, "Your faith has healed you," and she was well. So it's like your faith has healed you, and placebo effect and beliefs. So the question then is, well, how do you activate that belief? Like if you have that kind of abilities inside your body, how do we activate that, right? You know, how do you get that kind of belief? So what I have for us today, I would like us to give something a try. You know, you can think of something that that you really want, and it could be healing a health concern, or some relationship love thing, or money or financial things, or a certain kind of lifestyle you want. And then you think about it for a bit, and you can do that now if you want. And then as you think about it, what kind of belief would you need, or would be required, or would activate that instantly? You know, the universe is infinite. And if people can heal that fast because they believe something, what else is possible? Yeah. Yeah, and as this goes on, I'm doing a matrix energetic session for you right now. I wasn't. And you can just think about, like, what would you want to change? And who would you be if you totally knew that it was done? There's stuff that's in the way sometimes, right? And so how could you find that and let that go right now? Now, one place you might look is if you want something like a certain lifestyle, you know, financial stuff or something, or you want a certain lifestyle like relationships, a love to come into your life, or to heal something, and you think of having it, you would be a different person, right? So you might even be hanging around different people at that point. And if you think about hanging around those other people, having achieved what you want to achieve, being one of them, does any angst come up? Does any angst come up in your body? I'm going to go ahead and turn a dial here for you. And maybe all those gurus are right in that it's like looking inside yourself. But what are you looking for? Maybe it's that angst, and to be real comfortable with it and to notice that. Maybe it's something about that. Let me know what you think it is. Yeah. All right. So I'm heading back to the office. I see people in town here in Bellingham on Mondays and Thursdays, and I'll show you around Bellingham. Here's our favorite coffee shop. We love this place. Here's where I just ate. It's over there. And beautiful Bellingham. All right, you guys. Have a good one.